You can be an everyday hero, and that is what the world needs. When I was a kid, we had these guys. I like to call them hometown heroes. We didn't have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We didn't have this comparison game. So you could actually be a hometown hero. You could be epic in your own world. You could be the best elk hunter. When we were growing up, Lloyd Fine, he killed more bulls consistently than anybody else as an elk hunter. He was the local legend. When we were kids, there was a guy who lived by us. He was the only ultra runner we knew. Nobody was an ultra runner. The fact that he ran every day, everywhere, you'd see him on one side of town, the other side of town. He was a legend in his own time because he didn't have to compare himself to the whole world. And that's what you need, and that's what I need. We need to feel that feeling of being an everyday hero. And I had an experience the other day where I went to go grab the dump trailer and realized my trailer lights were out. And I couldn't pull the dump trailer. So I could have brought it to a mechanic and paid $90, $100 an hour. Probably waited a couple days for him to fix the lights on my truck. But I was like, no, we need this dump trailer now. So I'm gonna swing in, there's Murdoch's, I'll go get a new plug-in. And you get the plug-in and you start taking it apart, you're like, wait, somebody took the screwdriver out of my toolkit. I gotta go buy a screwdriver. You buy the screwdriver, you start getting it apart, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have any tools in this truck. I gotta go buy wire strippers. You're like, on the third trip, you're hour and a half into this thing, just trying to freaking rewire this stupid plug on your trailer so you can pull the trailer across town. And you're really not a mechanic, and you really don't know that much about wiring, and you're looking at the instructions. If you do whatever it takes to solve any problem, you spend the money and you take the time, any little problem in your life, in the people's lives around you. The other day I fixed our storm door, which I'd been messing with and annoyed with for years. And I could have bought a new door. I could have paid somebody else to put the door in. And man, it was the most impossible door I've ever fixed. But this plug, I stuck with it and I stuck with it. And I finally got the whole thing wired and I hooked it up to the trailer. And it turned out it was the fuses in my truck. I still only had a right brake light and a right blinker, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so frustrated. But then I thought, hey, you don't know what? Like, I can do what needs to be done when it needs to be done, and I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep trying until I have some kind of victory, some kind of win. You got to count every W you get, no matter how small it is. You can't compare it to some guy who has a YouTube channel about fixing cars, and you can't compare my ultra run and my time at this race to the guy who won. And you can't compare the bull elk I shot with my bow to somebody else's gigantic one, because you want to know what? You'll be miserable, because comparison is the thief of joy. It kills joy. And we're living in this world of constant comparison that we weren't designed to live in. We were designed to live in these small families and communities and tribes in which we could be the hometown hero. We could be the local legend who climbed the mountain or swam the river or shot the meat and provided. So you have to celebrate yourself. And apparently there's some kind of an alarm that signals that I'm right, because it just went off. I have no idea what it was. But do not diminish the things you can do and the things you've accomplished by comparing them to other people. Be the hero in your own story. Write your own narrative. Don't let other people write it for you, because everybody will compare you and they'll put you down and they'll put you in your place and they'll be like, that wasn't that great. You're not that good at that. You're not this. You're not that. The guitars you built aren't those people's guitars. And you'll start thinking like they do, and you'll stop trying. But those small victories is what makes you value you. So just keep winning. Keep winning. And don't listen to anybody else, because it's about the story you tell yourself in your own mind. That's what dictates how you feel about you. It is. That's what gives you dignity. That's what gives you that purpose and that feeling. It's the story you tell you about you. And maybe find some people who also can help you tell